Hi guys, PJ back again, this time working on a 2015 Vauxhall Astra. Today we're going to be fitting a dash cam to the vehicle and wiring it to the vehicle's fuse box with this kit. This enables the dashboard camera to go on and off with the ignition key. So basically it's a fit and forget, and it'll also look factory fitted, so we won't have any wire on display dangling down the window screen or anything like that. It's going to look nice and tidy and a neat installation. Now, to do one of these installations, ideally you're going to want a fitting kit. Here's one made by Nextbase. You can get this sort of thing off Amazon or eBay, etc. They're not dear, sort of £15–20. And in the kits you normally get a little Ferris filter which you wrap around your power wire right near a little USB connector here that goes in the camera. So I'll show you how to fit that in a second, very straightforward. On the other end of the power wire is obviously a positive and negative connection. There's your positive. And there's your earth, which will be connecting to the chassis of the vehicle, probably on a bolt or mounting bolt or something like that. It's just to earth out the camera, so an earth and a power. You'll notice a bullet connector on the end of this one. Just getting focused, there we go, apologies about that. And they come with what's called a fuse spur. Okay, now this basically doubles up a socket in your fuse box, so that where one fuse is to run an accessory position circuit, you can pull it out, push this in and double it up. So you see the slot there for another fuse? That'll be the fuse you pull out of your fuse box, so you push that in there and you'll have two fuses in here. One to run the camera and the other one to run the accessory circuit that you've removed from your fuse box. I'll show you and explain a bit better on that one when we get to the fuse box. On the other end here we have a bullet connector which, yes, connects to there. Nice and simple, that's your power cable taken care of. Quickly back to your Ferris filter. Now they've got little clips on them. There we go. You can clip them open, yeah, so you just pop them open like so, and then wrap them, just get the power cable, come here, wrap them onto the end of the power cable. Now what you have to do, I can't do this one-handed, so I will skip this on the video. Basically you go round, through and back again, like this. There we go, as if by magic. So down, loop round, back out, snap it shut. And that's your Ferris filter. What that's for is to help stop interference with DAB radios and things like that. They have limited success. Some vehicles are more prone to interference than others. A lot of Mercedes, even with these on, it's hopeless. You're still getting DAB reception with the camera mounted on your window screen. Trial and error. Should be okay with the Astra. Never had a problem with it before. Done hundreds of them, so don't think we're going to have any interference at all on this particular car. Right, handy things to have, tools-wise. Long nose pliers to get your fuses out with, because the little plastic thing that comes with your car to remove the fuse is absolutely hopeless. These are dead easy, just pull them in, punch and pull. Roll of electrical tape, doing electrical wiring. It's handy for tidying up your cabling. Leaving it a mess is not really on, you want it all tidy. And a little trick, cable ties. Now what I do with these is use them to beef the cable up where it goes over the top of your window screen, so it doesn't fall down whenever you hit a pothole. A bit like this, I'll show you what I mean. So we wrap a cable tie around the cable, snip the end off, and then what I normally do is cover it in electrical tape. Now the reason I do this is because the end of a cable tie, when you snip it off, can be quite sharp. A lot of the headlinings in cars are made of like a fibre substance, like a sort of cardboardy fabric stuff. And in theory, over time, if that was rubbing on the inside of it, it might make a mark on your headlining. So I just cover it over just to pad it out a bit. It's probably being a little bit over the top, but these three will tuck up nicely above the headlining and just secure it so it doesn't come down when you're driving along our lovely roads and you hit one of our quality potholes and the last thing you want is a cable dangling down in front of you. So like I say, just to bulk it up. You don't have to do it, but I have seen them where they've fallen back down again. Just helps. The only other tool you're going to require ideally is some form of plastic leverage device. This is called a Bojo tool. Any plastic leverage device will do. You can get these again, Amazon, eBay, etc. They're normally about £1, and they're sort of malleable. They're hard plastic, but they won't damage your trim on your car. The last thing you want to do is leave a plastic with a metal screwdriver. You will 100% damage the vehicle. You don't want to do that. You want it to look factory fitted. This is actually the first tool we're going to use, because what we're going to do, your fuse box on an Astra is in here, in the glove box. Open your glove box up. The fuse box we're going to be using is in here, I'll rephrase that. And then you've got a little pocket, it's a bit dark, I don't know if you can see that. Let me open the door, get some light on it for you. There we go. Pop that And there's your fuse box. We're going to be taking this end panel off right here, and this is where you're going to be using your plastic leverage device. And all you do, it's on poppers, yeah? They can be quite stiff if you've never been off, if you're working on a brand new car. And you go all the way along it and pop it. And obviously it's tucked under the rubber trim here, so you're just going to have to pull it away from that. You'll see how it comes off. Don't be too forceful with it, it's only plastic, but they are quite rigid. So you can normally get your hand behind it, pull your plastic trim, and just remove this piece completely out of the way. So with it removed, I did need to use both hands there, guys, I cheated. There are your clips that are holding it in. They are quite large, so like I say, they can be stubborn. Put that safely to one side. It nicely reveals a big bolt here, 13mm bolt. We can take that out and use that as your earthing point for the camera. Don't worry, there's many more holes your dashboard in, so you haven't got to worry about anything falling out by taking this bolt out. So go ahead and take that bolt out. So the bolt's currently removed. As you can see, the dashboard's not gone anywhere, everything's still good. And I've put myself a little ring terminal on the end of the earth cable. I'm not too fond on the spades that come with them. They're a bit feeble, so I always upgrade them a little bit. You don't have to do that. It's just I fit hundreds of these things every month, and you know, they do snap, so I tend to upgrade them. So put your ring terminal over. I normally pop a washer over just so it seats nicely back when you bolt it back up. Put this bolt back into the position, and that'll be your earthing complete. And then we're going to start with your cable. Come up here to the top of the window screen. Here's your mirror at the side here. There's your power cable, and all I've done is tucked it up. You can grab the headlining with your finger edges, yeah, just to pull it. Don't go at it like a bull in a china shop. It is only like a fibre substance, so you just want to ease it down slightly. Tuck your cable up, and like I say, you've got your cable ties to secure it. Get to this area, and then we're going to basically put the leverage tool behind you, or you can even use your finger, look. Just pull it proud, just to tuck it down the very edge lip here. You're not going to be going over an airbag and stopping that from deploying if ever it needs to, so don't worry about that. They come out with such force, it would move anything out of the way, including this piece of trim. Believe me, I know, I've had to test deploy them before in the past. So just round the edge here, around the lip, above the airbag, your airbag sits here, yeah? And then down the rubber seal, down the edge here, tuck it out the way until we get down to the plastic area we're working on where the bolt is. So now you can pass your power cable through from the side here, look, there you go, right through your red power cable through to the fuse box. And you're going to start using something to determine which fuse goes on and off with the ignition. Now on the Astras, most fuses are constantly live, permanently live. Do not pull anything connected to ABS, airbags or engine management. You don't want warning lights on your dashboard and have to take it to a garage to get them switched off, because it's about 60 quid a go to get them switched off. You're going to be needing something like either a test probe screwdriver, one of those things with a light in the end of it, or multimeter. Yes, mine's a bit old and battered, it gets a lot of use. And all we're going to do is basically run along the fuses and touch the top. Yeah, so the points on the top of the fuses are exposed, and you can touch the little metal tips. Now if we go down these, you'll notice here, that's constant live, 12.20 volts. Generally on Astras, and you are going to have to check, because obviously depending on year and spec of the vehicle it will vary, but generally the only two that are switched live are the two in the middle here. This vehicle's only got one in the middle, depends on the spec of the car. Now 10 to a penny if I touch that one, which is fuse number 6, which is, I think it's cigarette lighter. Let's have a quick look. Fuse number 6, power outlet cigarette lighter. Yes it is. There you go, there's your list, look. Fuse number 6, 0 volts with the ignition off. If we turn the ignition on, fuse number 6, which is an accessory fuse, so it's ideal, let's turn it on, will be powered. Yes it is, there we go. Please double check, like I say, don't just grab at fuses randomly, you could cause warning lights. So we'll be using this fuse, so what that means is we'll turn the ignition off, pull the fuse out and use the fuse spur. There we go, there's your fuse spur plugged in. So just to show you, there's the 20 amp that we took from there plugged in along with the camera fuse. Shove that in. That's your actual power wiring done. So if you've got this far, you should be able to test your camera right now. You should be able to pop the ignition on and give it a try. Now I do need to point out that I'm not held liable for any damage to your vehicle or injury to yourself by following this video guide, so please bear that in mind. If you're in doubt, you should be consulting an auto electrician really. You know, there's plenty of places that will do it for you that are insured to work on your vehicle. Right, so to carry on, sorry I had to put that in guys, but I've had a few people try it on lately, so, you know, modern day and age. We've got to tidy up all this mess that we've got here. And all we're going to do is tape it up into nice bundles, store it in the side here. Everything bunched up. We've cable tied it to the back panel just to be sure so it doesn't rattle around. You can now pop your plastic cover over. Just make sure it's cable tied at the bottom as well. Ideally you don't want it catching on the plastic hinge as it goes backwards and forwards, yeah? Pop your plastic cover back on by firmly, and you will need both hands to do this, sort of press it on. Yeah, I'm going to need both hands. Give it a whack onto the side and then pop your rubber seal over the edge here. And then we'll go and test the camera. Quick note regarding cameras and mounting them. It's pretty much a common sense thing, but I will mention it. A lot of the higher end cameras come with a 3M sticky mount and a suction mount, okay? Now, depending where you're going to put this thing, most people will put it here, yeah, next to the mirror on the sort of left hand side of the mirror or right hand side, depending which side your passenger side is, right or left hand drive vehicle, yeah. If it's textured black area like this one is, so you can feel it, it's like a painted surface, you need the 3M sticky pad mount to stick it on there. The suction mounts won't stick, okay, or they'll fall off after a few minutes, so it's not worth trying. If it's smooth touch to the glass, the same as glass, you're fine to use the sucker, okay. If you haven't got a 3M mount, mount it to the side here. Yeah, don't try and mount it on this stuff, it won't stick. We're going to go with the 3M mount on this one, which is this one here. So we just screw it basically onto the original base. One last thing to mention, depending on the camera you've bought, make sure you get the right memory card for it. Most cameras are generally fine with a normal SD card. The ones that record in 4K though, you are going to need a faster speed memory card and also a higher capacity one. So just bear that in mind. You know, it's got speed requirements, look. U3 speed requirements if you're recording in 4K on the higher model to this one. Just ask your wherever you buy your camera from on that particular one, but normally 1080p, 1440p, any memory card should be fine, not an issue. So let's get this camera mounted and give it a try. So there we go, camera mounted, cable tied lit up to 8. Let's pop the ignition on and diddling, there you go, on it comes. Now you'll have an initial setup to do, all cameras are different so I won't bore you with that. If you've got to this stage, guys, that's it. You've fitted your own dash cam, saved yourself some money. Hopefully this guide was at least some help to you. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below. I will try and answer them quickly, just bear in mind I do get a lot of questions nowadays, so I'll be with you as soon as possible. Thanks again, and goodbye for now.